right, so this is my interpretation of how to play Bicycle, and I'm sure I don't have it exactly right, but I just thought this was like a fun way to play it that a beginner might be able to actually kind of get into and play along with me. So before we get started, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button so I can keep making these videos for you all. Also, if you don't mind, hit the notification bell just to help me out a little bit on the algorithm. So anyway, I'll bring you in a little bit closer and we'll get started. All right, so we're going to start with an A minor 7 shape. So you're going to do a lot of finger picking in this song. So get ready to you're going to use your thumb probably mostly on the low E, A, and D strings. And then your index, middle, and ring finger are going to cover the G, the B, and the high E. So that's a general rule. We might shift around a little bit though. So you're going to start with your thumb on the A string because we're playing that A minor 7. And then your index, your middle, and your ring are going to pluck the D, the G, and the B correspondingly. So you're going to pluck all 4 of those strings at once. All right. Now when you do that, you're going to hammer down into that A minor 7 shape. So you're going to hammer down to 1st fret of B, middle finger, 2nd fret of D. So, all right. So right after that hammer, you got a single note. You're just going to pluck with your index finger on the 2nd fret of the D. Or pluck with your index finger on the D because you'll be holding 2nd fret. So you got. Now right after that, we've got a percussive just tap of the strings. So I kind of just hit with my fingernails kind of on the strings, and my thumb taps the strings a little bit too. So that's something you can kind of mess around with. A lot of people like to just really slap the thumb to get that percussive sound, but I kind of just do the whole hand. So it's kind of up to you. So we've got, all right, right after that, you're going to set your pinky down on the 3rd fret of the B string. Okay, so everything's still down. You still got your index finger and your middle finger down. But now you're going to pluck just the higher 3 strings. You're not going to pluck with your thumb. You're just going to pluck the D, the D, the G, and the B. Okay, so we got one more time. Then you're going to let off with your pinky and pluck again those same 3 strings, the D, the G, and the B with index, middle, and ring. Okay? So we've got. All right, now following this, we got an arpeggiation, or an arpeggiation. I guess that works. We have an arpeggiation from the lowest note of the chord to the B string. So A, D, G, B. One more time, a little slower. One more. Okay. Now, if you make a C shape, add your ring finger here on the 3rd fret of the A. So A minor 7 and C have a lot in common, as you can see. But you're not going to play a C chord. You're going to slide that up 2 frets, because now we're going to play a riff that sounds like this. I'll play it and then I'll show you how to play it. So one more time. So what I'm doing there is I'm plugging with my thumb on the A, and then index, middle, and ring again, D, G, and B. And then you got your tap right there. And then you're going to pluck D, G, and B right after the tap. So you've got one more time, slow like that. So we got okay, now we got another arpeggiation we got to follow. So this one, so see where your index finger is on that 3rd fret of the B? You're going to pluck with your ring finger on the B, middle finger on the G, index finger on the D. So you got then you're going to slide down to 2. So you got middle finger slides down to 2 and then pulls off to open. I know that's kind of a lot, but that is what I think sounds the coolest. Alright, so we got one more time. Sorry, I messed that up one more time. Okay. Now we're going to go to a very simple G chord. Middle finger, 3rd fret of low E. And we're going to play a riff that sounds... middle finger, 3rd fret of low E. Index finger, 2nd fret of high E. Okay, so we're going to play a riff that sounds like this. Okay, so now thumb's taking over on E. Index finger is now on G. Middle finger gets B. Okay, so you got... and ring finger, if you guessed it, gets high E. So your index finger, middle finger, and ring finger are all just shifted down to the G, the B, and the high E. So we're going low E, G, B, G, high E, then low E, G, B. One more time. All right. Now we got a couple of chords, or one chord that looks like a bar chord, but it's not. I'll show you how to play it. It's an F. So you're going to set your index finger on that 1st fret of low E. And you got to reach up here, get your ring finger on 3rd fret of A, pinky, 3rd fret of D. And you could probably get away with just playing that. That's a F5 power chord. But if you can, see if you can add your middle finger down here. So maybe play it just like that first. Just your thumb will pluck the low E, index and middle finger pluck the A and D simultaneously. So maybe play it like that first, and if you can, see if you can add your middle finger on that 2nd fret of the G. So then your ring finger is going to pluck the G. So index A, middle D, ring finger G. And then a tap. So you got E, the rest of the chord, then tap. Now if you can't get that middle finger down, maybe that. Just index and middle. Okay, but for the sake of the lesson, I'm going to play it with a middle finger down, 2nd fret of G. So you got. Then we're going to an E chord. So we got. So index finger, 1st fret of G, middle finger, 2nd fret of A, ring finger, 2nd fret of D. And again, thumbs covering low E, index A, middle D, ring G. And you're going to pluck all those simultaneously. So you got. Following that, you got a tiny little riff that goes. So that's ring finger, high E, jumps down to cover high E, and then middle finger grabs the B, but you set your pinky down here on that 3rd fret of the B. So from that F, now let me see if I can play through this. So this is the first full movement through the riff. The second time through is just slightly different. So let me see if I can play through this slow. Sometimes riffs are harder to play slow. So what do we got here? We got Yep, I think that was it. It's pretty close anyway. You might have to work out the kinks as you play along. So the second time through is very much the same. Let's see. I think that's what I was doing. So what that is very much the same. You're plucking the A. So you got, but then you've got, so you're plucking A, setting pinky down on 5th fret of D, plucking D, G, and B, and pulling off. So one more time, a little slower. Then followed by that, that's just A string, ring finger, B string. All right, and then going to the G. So right after you play that riff on the G, instead of going to the F this time, you just set your index finger 1st fret of the G, and you're going to pluck the same exact plucking pattern. Whoops. So we've got okay, so looking at that second movement through the riff. All right, so now both movements together, the first movement and the second movement. Right? And then I believe it just repeats those parts. I didn't get too far into the song, so I'm not sure what other sections there are, but that should be a good start for you and get you playing through that A movement and then the B movement. And then, as I said, just kind of make any tweaks you need to, because when I take a lesson like this and I slow it down and try to slow everything down for you, sometimes things get a little screwy. So you might have to just listen to the song, play along, and make some little adjustments if you need to. But anyway, I hope this lesson was helpful for you. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video.